Hello and welcome to another episode of Put Me in Coach on episode 93, Diamondbacks versus Padres Game 3. Lineup of today, Vargas is actually playing shortstop. So fortunately enough, Perdomo is not playing. And to me, that's a really bad move. Again, I don't know what Lavello is doing and stuff. He doesn't look like he's hurt. He just had a break. In game 3 of a 4 series game with the Padres, when we're trying to compete, bad move. Whatever. Gabe Marino's back to playing catcher. Max Kepler playing left field. Lourdes Guerrero Jr. playing DH. Pavin Smith playing first base. Tommy Troy at center field, and stuff. And the rest is the same, and stuff. I would definitely say there's some ways a little bit hitting here and there. I think it was 50-50 some ways and stuff. Gabe Marino went 2 for 4, really good for him. Nolan Arenado went 3 for 4, really good for him and stuff. The rest got like 1 hit. People did not get hit is probably Pavin Smith, Corbin Carroll and stuff. And I think that's pretty much it. That's honestly enough. That's not that bad. About enough of, I guess it's not 50-50. I guess it's just so weird of enough of it. Yeah, it's very interesting. So I guess 2 people did not get a base hit. It's pretty good on offense, but not good enough to win a game. And stuff. That's the difference. You know, there's a time where we won a game with 4 hits and stuff, and that's very rare enough, but sometimes enough of offense been so clutch where enough of the other offense on the other side just did a lot better and stuff. So that's pretty much of that. So I'll give props for the offense a little bit and stuff on that. Starting pitcher. So pitching wise enough. Starting pitcher of today, Jose Cabrera. He went 5 innings, gave 4 hits, struck out 2, walked 2, and 4 runs and stuff. And Jose Cabrera is doing good, but it's just I think it just the miss hit of enough of how he's been pitching and stuff and not doing so well and stuff. And also there was little hiccup of with a balk and stuff, and then Lavello got ejected and stuff. I don't know. It was weird because to me enough, the way he did it is basically he stepped back to the rubber of where his feet is, and then he switched and trying to get the runner at second base, and that was Tatis at second base. So, and then that was a balk, and then even enough for the announcer, and especially enough it's on ESPN. Just the weird things enough it's going back and forth on an app and stuff where I don't have. And then the announcer just keeps saying just like, oh, Tatati is like a very good IQ mimicking to at second base. Like what? No. I don't know. They need to hire people know how baseball works. So that's pretty much of that. It's just not. It was just not a good day for Cabrera in some ways enough. I would say he did pretty good, but some ways just not so well. Much of it, and then the Padres starting pitcher was Michael King. He went 6 innings, gave up 4 hits, struck out 4, walked 2, and gave up 1 run, and stuff. So obviously enough, I knew Michael Keane is a really good pitcher, and so last time we kind of destroyed him when we had that 2-series game in Mexico and stuff, and I was really enough surprised that we came back and won that game, but today just didn't happen because Michael Keane is just doing good baseball at the time and stuff, so you got get props for him and stuff. And then the bullpen for the Diamondbacks, Brandon Garcia, Taylor Clark, and Juan Morello, and Ryan Thompson. And man, oh man, Clark and Morello got heated today and stuff. So didn't look good. didn't look good at all and stuff. So that's the most of the struggles. Enough of, man, the whole team's just going downhill. Where enough of even the bullpen cannot even help trying to get the offense get back in the game and stuff. So that's the most struggles now we're having and stuff. So that is that. And then we're gonna go scoring and stuff. I'm gonna talk to what I have and stuff. There's not a whole lot and stuff. There's a lot of scoring, so I took down things out so boring and stuff. So now we're talking about the important ones and stuff, because it is a lot of scoring overall and stuff. Gabe Marino with a RBI double to make it 1-0 top of the first. It's great enough of the Diamondbacks are, scoring that early in the first inning and stuff, but the rest enough of can't do more than that. It's just so weird. Miguel Enduras or Durjar, I don't know how you say that, hit a RBI double to make it 2-1 bottom of the fourth. Alexander Bogarts hit a 2 RBI single to make it 4-1 bottom of the fifth. Tommy Troy with a 2 home runs to make it 3-8 top of the seventh and stuff, especially enough having his helmet coming off his head and stuff, and then showing his good-looking hair all the way around the plate and stuff. Pretty cool moment for him and stuff. And then again, Miguel Andriar hit a RBI double to make it 9-3 bottom of the seventh, and then Max Kepler with a RBI double to make it 4-10 top of the eighth, and that is the final score. Diamondbacks lost 4-10 and stuff. And then the record right now is 45-47, and now we are down low of 500. And I still blame Bonan Villavelo and so much. It is so crazy of how this team is not clicking the way they should and stuff, and it's not it's just I don't care about how the Padres are a good team and stuff. They are a good team, they're trying to get back into the wild card as well. They're in the same conversations with the Diamondbacks and stuff, but man, oh man, I don't know, man. There's sometimes where I'm so mad at the offense. I'm surprised enough of how much base hits we were getting and stuff, but it's just in our bullpen did not do so well. So just today, that game was just not having it and stuff. Why of enough to have Perdomo bench, to have a day off in a game 3 in a 4-series game with the Padres, when we're trying to get back in the games, when we're literally tied with the Padres on 500 and stuff, and you have Vargas playing shortstop? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? It's just I don't understand this so much of enough, I would, what I would prefer? Put Vargas at DH. Take Max Kempler out and stuff, because he's also annoying me so much with his swings. Bro, these swings, they're pitching, it's absolutely nowhere. They're swinging at where balls are just off the plate and stuff. It's just why are we swinging this? Stop chasing balls. Stop helping the other team. Stop helping the opponent teams. It's just you gotta stop doing that and stop. Do you guys care about winning? because it just doesn't look like they care. They're not showing it. And that's a really annoying thing to think about. Like, it's just like, what is this team doing? Doesn't look like they want to compete. And Ovelo keeps saying enough of, like, we're going to get back on the horse and stuff, and we're going to do good. I don't trust that man anymore. I really don't. You know, like, what are you going to say? Because enough of having a break over the All-Star and stuff, and then the second half, they're going to go big. Like, that's not a really good strategy, in my opinion, and stuff. Like, it'd be cool if it works, but how rare enough, and it's very risky and stuff. And you're thinking enough of, like, okay, like, second half, like, we're gonna do good, like, we're in it, we're gonna do good. Don't blame on yourself enough of this is not gonna pan out. So, and that's why enough of, like, just put Lorsgrove Jr. in left field, bench Max Kempler, put Vargas at DH and stuff, put Marte at shortstop, and put Tim Tawa at second base. I think that's a pretty good way to put that. Because, like, you kidding me? Because, like, you gotta think about it of enough. Mookie Betts, fortunately enough, my mom loves saying the name Mookie Betts. It's just a funny name from my mom and whatever and stuff. But he started playing good, in the outfield with the Red Sox and stuff, / with the Dodgers as well in 2020 and stuff. I heard when he was playing for Team USA in 2023 and stuff, heard enough of he actually played second base before infield and stuff. So he can play outfield, infield. Very talented person of Mookie Betts because he can play other sports and stuff. A professional bowling, by the way, and stuff. Can play basketball, can dunk, of how small he is and stuff. He can play football. He's very fast on his feet and stuff. He's a very well athletic player and stuff. And there's a reason why his initials is MLB. So that is all the typical things and stuff. Great story from Mookie Betts, whatever and stuff. Great, he's on the Dodgers and winning all the World Series rings he has and stuff. I'd be more of a surprise. He has 4 World Series rings and stuff, and 3 of them are with the Dodgers, 1 with the Red Sox. So it's kind of crazy to think about that and stuff. And then, so it is crazy enough the difference enough of outfield and infield can do it and stuff. Fortunately enough for Marte, he has played outfield before, played right field, played center field sometimes, blah, 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 here and there and stuff. Why not play shortstop, A lot of people keep saying enough of Derek Jeter's supposed to play third base and Alex Rodriguez plans to play at shortstop and stuff, Just heard about Nolan Arenado, teammates with Matt Chapman in college and stuff, and one of them was third base and the other was shortstop. And after the one went to MLB and stuff, the other switches and stuff. So, and both of them are third basemen, and they're very great third basemen overall at this time, especially in the NL League and stuff. So it's just like, to me, of enough of just like it's okay to change and stuff. Like, I get Vargas can play other places. He can play outfield. He can play first base, second base, shortstop. He can probably third base, whatever. Tim Tawa is same thing and stuff. I would not recommend Tim Tawa play shortstop and stuff, because again, I feeling like Perdomo is the type of person and stuff. And also, where is Jordan Lawler? Because if you want to put somebody at shortstop, why you put Vargas at shortstop? Where enough of you can just put Jordan Lawler there and stuff. And I realized enough, maybe Jordan Lawler is probably in the minor leagues and stuff. So just like, dude, I don't know what this team is doing. I don't know. And stuff, it's just like, it just doesn't feel good for Vargas and stuff. I get there was a base hit came to him and stuff, ricocheted off his glove, and it was a fair ball. And stuff, he had a good chance and of it, but I'm feeling like if Perdomo was in, he would actually grab that and get the person out and stuff, So it's just like, it's just so weird. It's hard. It's just like, I just don't know and stuff. Like, this team is just not clicking and stuff. And you know what's the most frustrating thing I saw yesterday and stuff? And it's Kento Marte swing. What is, I don't understand of enough of what the Diamondbacks are doing when they're practicing on swinging, because what I'm seeing is nowhere closer as a swing. What are you swinging at? Like, I never seen a swing of this from Marte, and I don't even know what it is. There's a reason why you're not in the All-Star, because this is terrible. What are the Diamondbacks are showing Marte? What are you doing, coaches? What are you doing? If I would be Lovello, I'm benching Marte because of how atrocious this swing is. This is not right. This is just like, it blows my mind of how good a hitter Marte is. I get he got on base. He's 1 for 5. I totally understand that. But the 4 of the other hits, ground outs. Like, easy ground outs, right to the player, getting it out, don't even care, doesn't have a chance enough to get at first base, doesn't hustle or anything and stuff, just take it and leave it and move on and stuff. We can't show this at all and stuff, because, if you show this in Chase Field, they're going to boo at you. It's just like, that's the truth, and I don't want that to happen and stuff, but it's just like, it is so bad of enough, and again, there were nowhere close. The first swing on Marte was like, I don't know what you're swinging. I don't know what you're swinging at. I get you're swinging at the ball, but like, come on. Where's the placement? Look at Marte's first bat against Michael King, and you tell me that's normal, because it's not. That is not normal. I don't know what that is, because that is not Kendall Marte. That is not the Diamondbacks way and stuff. Like, if I see that, I'm benching you. Like, this is not correctly. I don't know what the coach are doing, and it just looks so sloppy as heck, and this is not a World Series team where enough of, if you want to compete in this up category and stuff, you can't show this. You can't show this and stuff. Why you hacking like that? Why are you swinging like that? Why are you swinging down low, where enough all the way to your knees and your legs, where a ball is nowhere close to the strike zone and stuff, and helping your opponent team to get you out on a ground out double. I mean, a ground out or whatever and stuff. Like, it's just like, what are we doing? If you want to compete and stuff, swing the bat. Normally. because that's not normal. Like, I'm telling you, like, that swing, and I'm seeing it more than four times Marte came up, ground out. And I think in one of them was like straight to the outfielder dude and stuff. It's just like it just shows of enough the Diamondbacks are just not doing their job and making this team better. How are you going to make this team better in the second half of the season? How? How of enough? Oh, you're going to change. Bro, you should change in the beginning of game 1. This is sad. I'm showing this, and if I'm in the seats of where Lovullo is at, I'm all in. I'm all in at game 1, and we should be up there with the Brewers, the Braves, the Dodgers. We should be up here. Okay? We're down here. Okay? I'm glad enough of we're not down here, whatever, below and stuff, but like we're right into the middle. And to me enough, that's not safe. That's not safe because we can go downhill and we can go uphill. But here's the thing. This just keeps going up in here. This is where we at. We're going up and hill. You know, and that's where enough of the flat is just going to be just like this all the way and stuff because this team is just a 500 team and stuff, and it's just not a World Series champion team. You know, we didn't do the same thing in 2023. They didn't do this in 2001 and stuff. I don't know what I'm saying because I'm seeing the team, what is doing from last year, I meant to say, and stuff, and Lovullo is just doing all over again. Like, it just looks like he failing and failing and failing every single time and stuff, and these are the typical things enough of, like, what are you doing? Do you matter to this team? And it's just like, these are the typical things we got to really think about so much. And what is the coaches doing? What are the players are doing? And stuff, because I don't know what's going on. But clearly enough of what I'm seeing in the game is not correctly in a way where enough of this is not what we should show in the game and stuff. And especially enough of when Marte is swinging at a ball is nowhere close to the strike zone and not even a swing and stuff, it really shows something is going wrong and stuff, and Lovullo is not doing his job correctly. And I don't know he's doing it on purpose, on accident, or I don't know what he just cares or don't care, or he matters enough of what is winning. And stuff, like, it just doesn't, it just looks like he just doesn't care, and he thinks enough of, like, I'm the manager, I can do whatever I want. Sure, okay, yeah. But if you want to be a competing competition team, you gotta think differently. Like, there's no reason of enough having Perdomo out of the game. These games reason at this time when we're trying to compete, especially a team, we are very into the minute of with the Padres as well and stuff, and you bench a player should absolutely be in the game and stuff when it matters, where it's only game 3. How do you bench him game 4 than game 3? It matters enough of what we do in the game and stuff, because to me it's just like, what the heck? We lost game 2. Why did you bench him the day before of that? Doesn't make no sense. Doesn't make no sense. And you put Vargas as shortstop. That's a bad move, from my opinion. And stuff. I'm not Lovello. Lovello's not me or anything and stuff. But it's just, these are the things enough of, you got to think about winnings and stuff where it does matter at this point and stuff. And it's just like, this is game 3 against a Padres game in a 4-season series and stuff. And you bench our starting shortstop, where a second baseman / first baseman type of person play shortstop. How did that go well? We lost 4-10. And Vargas did get a base hit. He went 1 for 3. But did that matter? No. Because your starting batter looked atrocious at the plate. And then you gotta fix that too. So manage the team very well. Manage your players very well. Get your coaches doing their job. Show this team they're a competing team. Because at this time, they're not. And that's where I'm worried about so much. And I feel like I can just, I need to step up and I got to change this team on my own because Lovello's not doing anything. And that's sad. That's sad enough of a 50 years old or 60 years old man cannot do his job, where enough of a 27 years old kid, young adult man and stuff, gotta say this on a podcast. That is sad. What are you doing, Diamondbacks? What are you doing? I want to see a World Series team, and they're just nowhere closer to that. I keep saying this all over and over and over on this podcast, and it's just like there's nowhere of enough. They're not going to get better and better if they're going to play like this. No chance. And there's other teams are just doing a lot much better. Why? Because they are probably working hard. They're probably having good coaches and stuff. They are absolutely doing their job and stuff. And the players are actually doing their job. Where enough of we're doing the opposite. They need to change. And don't tell me enough of second half needs to change at that point. Because that's ridiculous. Because you had a whole half. You could absolutely do that. And stuff. Doesn't matter what team, who player, whatever on the other side. Doesn't matter. Compete every single day. And stuff. And we're very close to half of the end of the first half of the season and stuff, going towards the second half and stuff, and we're still at 500. We're below 500, by the way, and stuff, by 2 down and stuff, but still, that's just not a good baseball team just to have. Just it's not and stuff, and is just not showing it. And Lovello needs to get fired and stuff. And so it's just this team, man, not the way we wanted it and stuff. And Lovello is throwing it in the trash. I'm gonna go up to Marte and tell him enough of hey, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing? What is that swing? What? It is so bad. It is so bad at this point. This is why I want to take over. This is why I'm doing this. You go and look at Marte's swing because it is just not what I want to see. I don't. Play better. swing better. How about you work on it? Homework. That's the progress everybody needs. Homework. Offense, defense, starting pitcher. Homework every single day. Work hard. Do your best. Because it just looks like Diamondbacks are just not doing nothing. That's basically it. I don't know what to say, so thank you for watching. Have a great day. This is the end of the episode.